So one thing people do a lot of on motorcycles, old and new, is whenever they have a bad connection, they revert to using these things from AutoZone and Napa, O'Reilly, wherever the heck they buy them at. They're not the same. They're not waterproof. They're not the same quality. Get rid of those and use this instead. This kit is available on Vintage Connections. It has every bullet connector type in it, along with some ring terminals. It also has the two different sizes used on most Japanese motorcycles, old and new, along with the rubber shielding. So again, that's available on Vintage Connections website. So use this instead. It probably runs anywhere, I don't know, $50 to $100. You'll need this crimp tool as well, and it also comes, or you can purchase, I believe, several different crimping attachments. I'm making a wiring harness to a tail light on a Kawasaki, and I have my end selected already. I have my wires pre-cut and cut to length and stripped. Slip that on. Positive. I want one of each end. So the first thing you want to do is you kind of want to bend these tabs over a bit, get it started. I'm trying to watch the camera and keep this in frame and watch myself at the same time, so it is a little tricky. I'm new at this whole videographer thing, so please bear with me. Stick that in the slot for the 14 gauge there. They should crimp and they should release pretty darn good. I can't complain too much there. And you can see I leave about 1/8 of an inch. And you just want to get it to where it stops against the insulation and the copper fills the front tabs. Squeeze them till they release. Pretty darn good. One thing you want to make sure of is that the wire is stripped back far enough. I've actually bought brand new manufactured stators aftermarket before, and I've had 1 or 2 cases where they don't strip the wire back, so the crimp just goes into the insulation, typically in the area here shown. I've had them where the factory forgets to strip the wire and they just crimp it into the insulation and get no contact, and I've spent a lot of time trying to trace issues like that down. Once that's good, go ahead and slide the insulation over until it stops. Just like new. Much better, much better than this. These will not last very long, especially in environments where you're going to get dirt and mud. They'll either get corrosion in them or the crimp will typically fail. This is the way you want to go. It's worth the extra money, worth the extra effort. Trying to drive, trying to work my equipment at the same time here. That looks about right. There we go. Good as new. Perfect. Yeah, this one I'd prepped ahead of time. On accident, had it on the wrong side. But it's still loose enough that I should be able to get that wire in there and slide it right down on. And you want to make sure that the end is flush. You want to make sure that your bullet connector end is not in the crimp tool, and then the insulation is shoved up against the stop. Once you're sure of that, go ahead, squeeze the handle till it stops. It should automatically release. There you go. Same thing. And there we are. And look how much better of a connection that is. Much more permanent, much more factory, much more watertight. And it's these little things that make the difference between a professional repair work on motorcycle versus your average backyard redneck. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Easy peasy.